So welcome back here. We are about to begin the afternoon's competition 2013 PSP World Cup. Matty Marshall alongside Steve Rabikoff and Chris Lasoy. It's been a great morning so far. We saw a lot of great performances. We saw some teams not perform up to their potential, but hey, they get 2 more games tomorrow, try to make it happen. And first game of the afternoon, we have Edmonton Impact going to be taking on Chicago Aftershock. Really looking forward to this one. Let's check it out here. So Edmonton Impact, Chicago Aftershock, both these teams incredibly good at attacking. I would say Edmonton Impact and Shock are 2 of the most aggressive teams in the league. However, the defending, finishing, clutch is still, on paper, got to go to Impact. There's tons of stars on that team, guys that have won championships before, and Aftershock rebuilding their roster the past 2 seasons, doing a great job of it, earned their right to play in the Champions Division again. And they're taking on Impact, who took 2nd place at the last event, very hungry for that 1st place trophy. And they are going to be throwing down here in just a few minutes. Got a little under a minute, actually, before we start this matchup. Steve, what do you think about this one? I mean,
Aftershock coming up out of the Challengers Division, getting up here. This is a team I wouldn't want to play right now because they're so unpredictable. They have nothing to lose. They can play, and the way this field plays out, especially with the middle, these guys are just chaos up there.
I hope they think that, though, Chris. I mean, honest, you don't want to let your the tentative nature creep in if you put too much pressure on yourselves. And Shock should come in here. They should want blood, man. They should come out and be like, hey, we're back in the Champions League. Let's go out. Let's earn some respect, but let's do it playing Aftershock paintball.
And Aftershock has won more World Cups than any team.
Yep.
I mean, these guys they're World Cup winners, but I really want to see them do well. I really like these guys a lot, and let's just see what they have to offer. Aftershock breaking out right now on your screen.
So Aftershock going to be on your left, and Impact on your right, and on the breakout, looks like Shock losing a body, going towards the Dorito side, and that's Carl Markowski trying to get out wide, getting shot off the break, trying to break it out here towards the Snake side.
It looks like Impact lost 2 players. Now it's 3, so their Impact's dropping bodies left and right, but here comes Justin Cornell down the Snake 1. And it looks like it's a 3-on-2 Aftershock, but look at Impact running down the field here.
Wow, we saw some really slow points in that Ironman Dynasty game, but here's a real fast one right now. It's Justin Cornell getting penetration over here, Snake side of the field. And then also cutting up in the center is Zane Yakmek. He's still alive after that initial bloodbath for both teams as Zach Yakmek, Corey Bornstein, and Joshua Met all got shot out with the swiftness. But here comes Zane Yakmek and Justin Cornell. Justin Cornell grabbing that flag, so nice solid performance here by Justin Cornell and Zane Yakmek, who are able to hang this flag up and get the first point. So Shock's got to find a way. I mean, that was a crazy point right there. I mean, Shock's really going to need to find a way to live in their bunkers and off the break against the guns of Edmonton Impact. Impact did not play Dave Baines here in this first point, but one of the stories of the last event was Dave Baines' ability to just destroy players off the break.
And on this field, the 2 backhands, he could play either one of those. I'm sure we'll see him out here in this next point or the next couple points.
Well, he played more points at that last event than he played for all 3 first points, first 3 tournaments combined. So, but you got to get Dave out there, I think. With the way that this is set up, Chris, would you agree?
Without question. I mean, it's a great laning field. It's a great insert field after that. It's a guy you want in when push comes to shove, who's going to finish the game for you.
I agree with that, absolutely. So,
and here we say that he's on the field now, so we'll see a lot of this guy out
So
there.
Dave Baines heading out here for Edmonton Impact. Scores 1-0. We'll be right back. All right, so here we go. About to start the second point of this matchup. First one went to Edmonton Impact, though. It was a pretty crazy point there off the break. Score 1-0. And also remember, tomorrow during the lunch break, we will be premiering the roster ETV from Planet Eclipse and starring San Antonio X Factor. Fascinating story from the boys from Texas trying to fight to rebuild their team and get back into the winner's circle. Not able to do it yet. They did take 3rd at last year's World Cup and then struggled this year, but lots of stars on that team, lots of awesome, hilarious personalities, and some tenacious guys. So make sure to tune in tomorrow during the lunch break for the premiere of the roster. Here we go. Point number 2. Can Chicago Aftershock survive that break? And it looks like Carl Markowski is getting isolated over here on the Snake side. They got to find a way to get Carl out to his bunker. I'd maybe send Carl up the center.
Yeah, he's got the speed to get there. And as you say that, Edmonton Impact loses 2 players, looks like Justin Rabikoff and Ryan Moorhead. But Dave Bain's going to the center of the field here, so get ready to try to lock down that Dorito side.
Yeah, Lawhead taking the walk early. 3 players left alive for Shock. Sosine, Rob Velez, and Brian McKenna. Sos has got a kill so far. Rob Velez, 3 kills for him so far. He actually was the only person that killed anyone on Aftershock in that last point. Sosine got a shot on Justin Rabikoff here. And now Tim Montrosser in the Snake.
That's a good move for them, because now with them widening the field out a little bit, it'll allow Dave to work that A a little bit left and right if he chooses to.
So now Tim in real good field position over here. And he is pretty much at the 50-yard line along with Dave. Dave is just shutting down that Dorito side of the field. Shock does have a player over there. But Shock on their heels, dominant field position right now for Edmonton Impact. But it's 3-on-3, so the body count is even. However, Impact with
and I think
better field advantage.
Just got hit in the loader here, so that's 3-on-2 now.
So Rob Velez, the killer for Shock, taking the walk. 2 players left alive, Brian McKenna and Chris Sosine.
And Chris Sosine coming over from the Infamous camp.
Yeah.
Great player, but started out with Aftershock, now went back to those guys again. Cool. I really think he has a lot of potential for that team to help out.
Hey, I got him on my fantasy team. I think if Sos gets reps, he could get some kills for him and help contribute. He didn't get much playing time on Infamous, but going back with the Shock boys, but it's just, they can't keep guys alive right now. Edmonton Impact putting it on him here towards the end of this point. So the score is going to be 2-0 in favor of Edmonton Impact. 16:52 left to go here. Now also, can these teams play clean? Shock has definitely been haunted by penalties in the past, and we've seen a lot of penalties here, especially as the morning bracket was closing out. So with the score 2-0, can Shock get back in it? We'll find out in just a second. Stick around.
A&S Gear is having their World Cup Super Sale. We've got A&S pods for half off. A&S gas tanks starting as low as $99.95. We've got swabs so cheap that you can throw them away. You can get Nelson paint arriving at your door, $31.95. Jerseys, we've got them starting at $4.95. And pants, starting at $29.95. Shop now at ansgear.com and don't miss out on the biggest paintball sale ever.
So welcome back here to the Fantasy of Flight, Polk City, Florida, a little bit outside of Orlando. And can Chicago Aftershock fight back and get into this matchup? They're fielding Nick Matthews, AJ Lawhead, Carl Markowski, Davey Simmons, and Clifford Ginter. On the flip side, Edmonton Impact, Corey Bornstein, Joshua Met, Zach Yakmek, Justin Cornell, and Zane Yakmek. So here we go. Shock not able to survive the break so far. Carl Markowski back out there again. And it looks like this time they are able to keep 5 bodies alive. And yeah, sure enough, they sent Carl Markowski up the center.
Carl you thought someone was at the A, but there was nobody there.
Well, the thing is man, they should have watched some games and seen what guys that had gone up the center had done so far. Oliver Lang played great at the center for Dynasty in the first match. And you don't necessarily need to run through and clear a body out. There wasn't a body there to clear out. So Carl getting a really tough start to this matchup. Got shot off the break twice and then got sent up the center. I think maybe he got a little bit of miscommunication, because I don't see Carl just running through and air bunkering somebody without somebody on the team or the sidelines telling him that there's a guy there.
Yeah, and he kind of gave the look to the sidelines like, hey man, what's going on over here?
Stop running me to my death. So now Impact owns that center, as Zane Yakmek is trying to shut down the Snake side of the field. And Shock needs to really get it together here. And you can't let Impact just start running away with these points. This is when you got to start digging deep And I like the play call, like we were just saying. Send Carl up the center. They do. Bruno makes the call. Mikey Bruno, the coach for Chicago Aftershock, sends Carl Markowski up the center. It's a much safer run, especially for somebody as blazing fast as Carl. But he runs through and air bunkers a ghost. I guess it's appropriate because it's almost Halloween, but it's not going to work out for the not going to work out for anybody. So unfortunately now Edmonton Impact, or if you're a Shock fan, Edmonton Impact going up 3. It's great if you're an Impact fan, and they're looking pretty solid too. You know, they're not taking Shock lightly. They're shooting a lot of players off the break, which is exactly how they got to the finals. You know, Impact was able to get to the finals. They did lose to Damage, but regardless, it was an awesome performance by Impact at the West Coast Open, and they're looking pretty good here at the start of this one. 3-0 is the score. We'll be right back.
PaintballDojo.com. Support your favorite pro teams. Get your name printed on pro team gear. PaintballDojo.com. Lifestyle gear for players. Full color and completely custom options. You can build a custom design straight from our website. Gear available for both men and women. PaintballDojo.com. Lifestyle gear for players.
The 2013 season of the CXBL has officially come to a close. Thanks to all the players and sponsors for once again making the CXBL one of North America's greatest leagues. Stay tuned to buypbl.com on Facebook. The 2014 season is just around the corner.
So the situation confronting Chicago Aftershock is they need to find a way to get 5 bodies out alive. It looked like they did it for a second, but again, they lost Markowski on the needless run through in the center. And it looks like they're going to sit Carl down. So now it's AJ Lawhead, McKenna, Velez, Sosine, and Caleb Abel who's getting out there. So still, so it looks like Shock, no, still not able to keep 5 bodies alive. They lose Sosine, but here comes Chicago Aftershock pushing up that Dorito side of the field. But Ryan Moorhead up in the center for Edmonton Impact. So this could get interesting. Also making the snake of Chicago Aftershock and then taking out Moorhead now past the 50-yard line on the D side of the field. Here comes Chicago Aftershock putting together a push.
That's a quick point. You talked about it, Maddie and Steve, earlier. Those guys, man, when they come out, they come blazing.
They are one of them, if not, I wouldn't say they're the most aggressive team because Impact can make a solid argument to say that they're the most aggressive team in the league. But, you know, it's interesting. We've just seen 4 points played in just under 5 minutes, and where we watched Dynasty and Ironman fight to a 4-0 final at the end of regulation, with Ironman skunking Dynasty in a huge win for the Los Angeles Ironman. They looked great.
Yeah, with that win, that puts them 2-0 today in that bracket. Now you still have they have to play Heat still tomorrow. So start off on a Friday 2-0. That's at World Cup. That's what you need to do if you want to play on Sunday.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And it was a crazy morning. This is a very interesting morning here at the World Cup. I'm kind of expecting the same thing out of the afternoon. Remains to be seen, though. Well, let's check in with the 4th member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly, down with Chicago Aftershock on the sidelines.
Hey guys, I'm down in Aftershock's pit at Impact. On the board. What did you guys do to prepare to come here? The best teams in paintball in the world.
We did a lot of fundamental drills, just getting back to the basics, communication, just getting a lot of reps and really just trying to learn the field as much as we could. And basically that's it. Just we know what we're capable of. We just got to go out and do it.
How has having Sosine and Carl Markowski on the team improved your play or changed your play?
Great pickup for us. Sos is a really good laner, and Carl is just unbelievably fast, so he's good to have, and we're glad to have both of them.
All right, we'll see if they can get some more points on the board.
This game brought to you by CPX Sports, one of the best fields in the world. They got Living Legends coming up next year, expecting possibly 3,000 players at that event, one of the best big games in existence. So if you're in the Chicagoland area, definitely check out CPX Sports, and also support all of our advertisers and our sponsors and all the platinum sponsors of the PSP, the best tournament series in the world. Trying to bring you professional paintball best we can. And here we go.
It looks like Shock actually got 5 alive up. They lost 1 on the break, so
Yeah,
it looked like he just about made it. but it looks like Impact lost one as well on the break, so it's 4-4. Now in this field, guys, I don't think you're going to get a lot of many 5-on-5s.
Yeah, you know, when you come out of the box, you know, it's really tough to get through those lanes. Also losing number 10 right there. That's Brian McKenna taking the walk for Aftershock. And also another one going down. That's number 2, Rob Velez. Here comes Impact.
Man, it's like watching, it's literally like watching sharks out there. Both of these teams are so quick to move when they see the lanes and not scared to go whatsoever, which is why when you're looking at those team matchups, they rank so high on the aggression. You know, so Brad, we were speaking about all the different sponsors. You know, GI, one of the platinum sponsors of the PSP. You guys have a cool new loader out. Talk to me about it a little bit.
Yeah, we debuted the Pulse RDR, which has a built-in radar chronograph. So when you're out at the field, you want to get your gun checked. Now you can do that with a loader. So our loader it's the first loader out there with the chronograph in it, balls per second, total ball count. So come on by the GI booth and check out the new Pulse RDR. And we also got our new GI Victus. That's all part of the Imperial program for next year. So it's an exciting time over there right now.
Yeah, it's just exciting time in general. 400 teams here, man. Paintball's never looked better. Incredibly excited about 2014. And it looks like Aftershock's calling a timeout. That's a good call for them with 14-11 to go here. Still tons of time to play. But Shock needs to figure this break out. They really are having a hard time getting 5 bodies out alive. And Impact that's where they're winning the game right now. So Shock's going to reset, and we'll be right back after this. So this field has definitely played out. It's played out aggressive. It's also played out slow. I think this is one of the most versatile fields that we've seen. It just really, it's kind of like it's a fight. It's like a mixed martial arts fight. Styles make fights, and when you have 2 aggressive teams going at each other, that's when you see these points just start blazing away. And also, how well is the team doing shooting players off the break? Well, right now, Edmonton Impact is doing an amazing job of it, and that's not a surprise considering that's one of the reasons they took 2nd place at the last event. Edmonton Impact a big favorite here.
And they've been doing that pretty much the whole year. Like as the season's been going on, obviously with their last placing at 2nd, they've made the finals all year long, top 4 all year. So now can they get past that hurdle and finally win one?
This would be a huge one for them to win. Man, what better tournament than the hardest tournament in the world to win. Also, go to PB Nation, join the conversation. Anything you want to talk about in paintball, you can definitely find there. I mean, you know, talking about all these different styles of paintball. You know, there's woods ball, obviously, the traditional side of things. We all have a love for that. And there's the UWL that's being played out here, 10-man. Rab, you got to play a little 10-man. How did that go?
I played 10-man with Operation Sandbaggers, Old Leads, and Jacko this morning. And first game started, we got 3 1-for-1s.
Shocker.
Shocker. But second game, I got in the snake.
Were you either pulled for or on any of those 1-for-1s? Oh, you escaped.
I escaped.
Did you shoot any?
Yes,
were you the one that shot any of them in the back of the head?
I didn't get those guys shot, but I did shoot some people.
Oh, that was DC Devastation. My bad.
Yeah, that was yesterday. I shot Brandon in the back of the neck.
Yeah, I was gonna say, talk us through your 2 points you got for DC Devastation yesterday.
So this is how it went yesterday. So I got out, very nervous, and I didn't tag up, so he pulled me out. So that's my first point. The second point, I took off early again, and yeah, it was a bad day for me.
Well, let's just say it's a good thing we weren't commentating that game.
Yeah.
I would have killed for that. And right now, here you go. Split screen breakout. Impact on your left, Aftershock on your right. Making some moves. Getting in the snake right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, Markowski really struggling today. Hasn't been a factor at all. He's been shot off the break three times, and then air bunkered the center on his 4th shot that he got. And you know, Carl's he needs to be a big factor for this team. So Mikey Bruno is going to have to find a place that he can get Carl to alive. You know, Carl, arguably the fastest guy in paintball, so you know, it's going to have to find a different spot for him to go to, or Carl's going to have to find a different route right now. But look at this, though. Davey Simmons in real good field position. And then on your screen, you're seeing the back line of Edmonton Impact, who are up a bunch of points right now. And this is what, you know, Dynasty did to Moscow Red Legion earlier, and what the Ironman did to Dynasty is once you get up a bunch of points strategically, you do not need to push aggressively forward anymore. All you need to do is just make sure you maintain your lead. But that's a very precarious strategy because it doesn't always work out that way.
Not especially on this field. So here it is. Aftershock just loses another player, so it looks like it's 4-on-3. But you got David Simmons in the Snake 2, which is definitely holding up Tim Montrester and Justin Rabikoff on the Snake side. But here goes Justin Rabikoff into Snake 1. And it looks like Ryan Moorhead gets taken out at the same time. So we got 3-on-3 here.
Well, Davey Simmons has got a confirmed kill so far. This match is in a real good position right now. Justin Rabikoff, though, for Impact is in the Snake, backing way up off the Snake. There's Simmons on your screen. And then Rabikoff gets right back into his spot. So Davey Simmons looking to engage Justin in a snap shooting battle here. Justin just chilling out, looking towards the center of the field, just trying to eat all that possible time up he can, preserve this lead.
And with the 4-1 lead, like you said, they know they're up 4-1 and Shock has to come. So try to lock it down and make them work for it.
Well, Impact's making Shock work for it right now. Simmons is trying to clock in here in the Snake and look for a kill, but Impact's not giving him much.
Yeah, you know, Impact plays really, really tight. Davey Simmons looks for an opening right now. It's 4-1. Impact is just running this game as far as we speak. Davey Simmons he's kind of got the ball right now, too.
Well, yeah, this is a tough spot to have the ball, though. Down 3 with 11 minutes to go in a spot where everyone's looking at you. But, yeah, I mean, he's in a spot where he's going to have to try to produce kills out of here and do it without dying. And he, you know, Shock's only got 3 players left looking at 3 players. They do have the field position. I think a move maybe can be made on the Dorito side. Is there a third player? You see, Chris, you see a third player on Shock over on the Dorito side of the field?
You know, I don't see anybody right now.
Yeah, I think that whole Dorito side might be clear.
We got the Snake corner. Yeah.
Snake corner. Now moving out of that to go try to get a little bit closer to Simmons and get in better position to try to look down that highway, that inside part of the Snake there. You can see that Snake, big gigantic Snake structure on the left-hand portion of your screen. It's the biggest bunker set on the field. We call the highway the inside part. Now, the way that those insert bunkers, those bunkers on the inside part of the Snake, they kind of block the highway run, but there is a gap there. You still can run the highway.
I like that move, but with Tim Montrester sitting right there, that's going to be really, really tough because he picks up shots like that really well.
Well, and Tim's good at this. Tim's a vet. He's been around for a long time, played on a lot of big teams, and he knows the situation. That's what Tim's good at. Tim is good at reading the situation and understanding what he needs to do based on what's in front of him. And right now, what's in front of him is Davey Simmons. And Davey Simmons is trying to push up in the Snake, and he does. Gets right at the 50-yard line. And he's just trying to dink. Simmons is trying to work to get a kill right now.
Right, and Dave Bain should thank Aftershock for putting 2 guys on the Snake side, 1 in the middle, because he could live on the left side of his bunker, the stand-up can there. Otherwise, he's having a rough time right now.
Simmons is clocking in. I mean, he really is trying. He's looking for kills. He's engaged. He's trying to get these guys to engage with him, but no one on Impact will engage with him, and rightfully so. They're up points. They don't need to engage.
Yeah, you know, like you're up 3 points right now. You just got to sit there.
Oh, he shot him. He shot David Simmons, Tim Montrester.
Tim Montrester got that shot in, so nice job by the vet, Tim.
But A.J. Lawhead come up in the middle at the 8 right there. You see him crossing the field. Tim Montrester picking him up right now.
It's 2 confirmed, actually 3 confirmed kills for Tim Montrester. And now Dave Bain's got 3, Greg's got 2. The only person without a confirmed kill right now for Impact is Justin Rabikoff, and he's one of our kill count leaders for the year. So everyone that's got him on the fantasy team right now is like, come on, Justin.
Give me some kills.
Give me some kills. And Justin searching, looking, moving up the field. Just 2 players left alive for Shock. 9 minutes to go. A.J. Lawhead, Nick Matthews still alive.
Stalemate game right now. Look at Impact just chilling out. No rush. Oh, Justin Rabikoff with a shot.
That's a kill for sure.
Yeah.
There's another one. So, yeah, whoever's got him on his fantasy team, they finally got 2 kills from him.
Good game right there. Nice slow control push, or not such a push by Impact.
Well,
nice controlled play.
It was a controlled. At the end, Justin went smart. You know, he realized there was 2 variables. He was looking at 2 guys left, and so he made the move and did what he needed to do. Nice work by Edmonton Impact. 8 minutes and 41 seconds to go here, and Shock still just, you know, it's not enough, man. They just don't have enough right now for Edmonton Impact. Maybe they can turn it around. 8 minutes 40 seconds. It's possible. But they're going to have to stay alive off the break. Carl Markowski's got to find a way to get in this match. We'll be right back. Right, so next up after this matchup, we have Tampa Bay Damage taking on San Antonio X Factor. We also have the premiere of the roster from Planet Eclipse tomorrow at lunch during the lunch break here on the webcast. Looking forward to see that. Episode number 1, 6-episode long series starring San Antonio X Factor. And then Damage, you know, obviously Damage won the last event. Got to put them up there in the top 4 as far as who's going to win this one. But Chad Boucher, one of their best players, dislocated his shoulder, still going to play with that injury. Also, Dimitri Ninos, he has 2 broken bones in his hand. He's going to continue to play. So a lot of guys out there playing through injuries this weekend.
World Cup.
Yeah, you're right. It's funny. I was talking to these guys, and it was almost like they're hurt, but there's no question they were going to play. But those are no joke injuries, man. Yeah. I mean, dislocated shoulder, and Chad's never done that before. It's a new one for him.
That pops out. And you know, it depends on how painful it is. That could change the way he plays, but he'll tough it up.
Aftershock losing 2 on the break right now. Very unfortunate turn of events for those guys. Rob Velez and David Simmons taking the walk. Kurt Wozni getting into Snake.
And again, Impact 4-on-3, and Shock's going to have to just, if they want to get some points, they're going to have to just force their way down this field.
They have to. They have no choice but to push forward. They need the points for the point spread. They still have some time. They could get back in it. We've seen comebacks in worse situations than this. But Impact doing a real good job of controlling those lanes. And once they get to their spots, they're locking it up, and they have this gigantic, well, yeah, that's pretty much a gigantic lead. 4 points is a lot of points in a race to 7.
Yeah, that's no count. I mean, 4 points. 3-point deficit, you definitely called out. You say that's one of the deficits you don't want to have. It's pretty much crucial on curtains for the most part, but in this field, I think Aftershock needs to come and just punch them right in the face right away. No more, you know, sissing around in the back. They got to get up the field.
Well, after we saw them go up the center with Carl, he made it up there clean.
It hasn't been back since.
But it hasn't been back since, and no one's been up there since. So maybe they need to go back and start pushing up that center, try to lock down the Snake side, because it seems like Impact been doing a good job of consistently putting people over here on the Snake side of the field. And here comes Zane Yakmek dropping the hammer in the Snake. So if you got Zane on your fantasy team, you are a happy man right now. He's getting you some points for sure. So is Justin Cornell. He's got 5. Zach's got 4. Corey's got 2. And Joshua Med has 3. So Impact looking real strong. 1 point away from taking this victory here.
Riverside, both squads, both lines were playing pretty consistent. And if you have 2 lines that are playing pretty solid like that, that's how you usually make Sunday afternoon. So they're still, the trend still looks so far so good.
Yeah, so Impact just looking really good right now. We'll see what Shock has here when we come back.
A&S Gear is having their World Cup Super Sale. We've got A&S pods for half off. A&S gas tanks starting as low as $99.95. We've got swabs so cheap that you can throw them away. You can get Nelson paint arriving at your door, $31.95. Jerseys, we've got them starting at $4.95. And pants, starting at $29.95. Shop now at ansgear.com and don't miss out on the biggest paintball sale ever.
So backs against the wall right now. Aftershock here in their first matchup against Edmonton Impact. Shock has one more today against Infamous, so no easy games here in the Champions Division, but this is what they asked for. This is what they earned. They earned the right to play with the 10 best teams in the world by doing incredibly well and being one of the top 2 teams at the West Coast Open, and that's the way that it works here in the PSP. Try to keep in the 10 best teams at all times here in the Champions Division. And you know, Shock has these young, talented guys that I just really wish that they'd believe in themselves. I'm sure they do, but
they're in the right direction, though.
I think so too, man. Regardless of what happens here at Cup, I mean, they're not looking good right now against Impact, but with the talented roster that they have, I just really hope they keep the faith, because there's no reason that the talent on that team really couldn't contend here. So now, there we go. Aftershock getting shot on Impact off the break, taking out Ryan Moorhead, who, Ryan Moorhead, big-time killer this year so far. Only got 1 confirmed so far in this match. And now it looks like Shock trying to push through up in that center, and that was AJ Lawhead getting taken out by Justin Rabikoff. So it's 4-on-4, but better field position for Chicago Aftershock here in Snake 3.
Look, yeah, that's a good move, man. If you're gonna get somewhere, get to that snake. Creep around, because he's got Tim Montressor and Dave Bain staring at him right now, so.
Yeah, so now Shock trying to make the most of this here. But problem, though, for Shock is that they lost Carl, they lost AJ. And, okay, now they got a shot on Dave. But Edmonton Impact, ooh, now Shock loses Brian McKenna. 2 players left alive for Shock. They're both in the snake, though. And Impact able to slowly but surely. Yeah, now they lose another player, and then the last player coming off for Shock. So congratulations to Edmonton Impact as they take this victory here, 7-1 over Chicago Aftershock, and really wasn't much of a game, to be honest. Wasn't very close. Edmonton Impact looking real good, shooting a lot of players, just dominating Shock off the break early on, and Shock wasn't able to get back in the match, not able to put much shots back onto Edmonton Impact, and then even when it was close, Impact was just better gunfighters.
Yeah, they like you said, they ran into a buzzsaw there with Impact, and playing with the top 3-4 teams in the league right now, and just fell short first match. But you know what? They got 3 more to go, and I'm sure they're gonna, again, like we talked about a little bit yesterday, Matt. They have nothing to lose. That's the attitude they have to take here. Nothing to lose. Just go out there, man. Get after everybody.
Well, they got tough games, man. I mean, they got Infamous later on this afternoon after the Damage X Factor game, which is coming up next. And then tomorrow afternoon, Shock has X Factor and Tampa Bay Damage. So
welcome back to the
welcome back to the Champions Division. There's no, you know, you look at the brackets. So in one bracket in the Champions Division, you have Dynasty, Heat, Ironman, Legion, and 187 Crew. And then in the other bracket, you have Damage, Impact, Infamous, X Factor, and Chicago Aftershock. I mean, pick your poison, man. Pick your poison. It ain't going to be easy. It's the World Cup. This is the hardest tournament to win on the planet, regardless of what division you're playing. I mean, when you look at the Division 3, Division 2, 1, there's so many teams in that division that whoever you see here playing on Sunday in the divisional ranks, I mean, they fought through trench warfare in order to get here on Sunday. So I'm excited to see, you know, is it going to be some of the Texas teams we've seen out here? Is it going to be Revo? I mean, is it going to be some of the teams we've seen out here before, or is it going to be some brand new team that we haven't seen? You know, maybe one of the teams that that's come here from all 4 corners of the globe. Well, let's check in with Lauren Kelly on the sidelines.
Favorite color?
Hey guys, I am down here on the sidelines with Justin Rabikoff and Coach Bart Yakimek from Impact. Congratulations, you guys just won 7-1. What were you expecting from Aftershock coming into this, and what was your strategy?
We felt that they were just going to run an aggressive play style, running down the snake or up the middle and down the Doritos. They did that. If they were to shoot one of us, they would try to take advantage of it, and they were running down the field like monkeys. So we just kind of sat back on them and just tried to control the lanes, and it worked out for us.
You were doing a great job on the snake side. Bart, how do you feel the team has grown this season? You started with 4th place, got 2/3, and then a 2nd. You're in line to get that 1st. How have you guys grown as a team?
Well, you know, we're looking at it, right? It keeps looking at us, and we're kind of like saying, it's got to come, and I'm hoping that we get our heads wrapped around it. It's more mental than anything right now. So it's, you know, the guys are pretty pumped. Even today in this first game, we were pretty excited. So if we can keep it under control, keep our heads we hopefully get to Sunday and get to that final game where we can be mentally strong, and I think that then we can get our first win.
Well, World Cup is where you want to get your first place win, so we'll see what happens. I'll be back with some challenger updates.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, Bart hit the nail on the head right there, man. I mean, that's a perfectly honest little expose of what they're looking at, man. It's all mental for them. They've had a really good showing this year, but not to their standards because that super team was put together to win tournaments, but they are moving in the right direction, but it's completely up to them. It's looking at them, they're looking at it, and it's completely up to the mental focus they're going to bring to bear. Let's look at the schedule here for the rest of the day. It's the 2013 PSP World Cup. Next up, coming at you, Tampa Bay Damage taking on San Antonio X Factor, and then Los Angeles Infamous and Chicago Aftershock. I'm Matty Marshall with Steve Rabakoff, Chris Lasoya. We'll be right back.